That's why I'm so feared. That's why they feared me when I was in the ring. Because I was an annihilator. That's all I was born for. And now those days are...
That's why I'm so feared. That's why they feared me when I was in the ring. Because that's all my eye was, annihilation. That's all I was born for. And now those days are gone. It's empty. I'm nothing. Mike Tyson's tragedy is not a single event. It is a lifetime of violence, loss, and survival. Each chapter feeds the next in a cycle that began before he ever threw a punch. That is the story of Iron Mike. And this is where it starts. The making of a monster. Mike Tyson was born on June 30, 1966, at Cumberland Hospital in Fort Greene, Brooklyn. His birth certificate listed a Jamaican cab driver named Purcell Tyson as his father. But the man Mike actually grew up knowing, Jimmy Kirkpatrick, a pimp and street hustler from North Carolina, abandoned the family around the time of Mike's birth, or by age 2 at the latest. The exact timing varies by source. What doesn't vary is this: Kirkpatrick died in 1992 without ever reconciling with his son. Tyson grew up with his mother Lorna, his older brother Rodney, and his sister Denise, who would die at 24 in 1990, in a string of welfare-dependent apartments that got poorer with each move.
Looked nice, and then I realized that we had to move, and then the more we moved, the darker it got.
When Tyson was 10 years old, the family relocated to Brownsville. At the time, Brownsville was one of the most dangerous zip codes in America. Murder rates were triple the national average. Open drug markets thrived. Burnt-out buildings remained from the riots and white flight of the 1960s and 70s.
It was just, real aggressive and black, you know.
Whatever could be done to a human being, it was being done there. And young Mike Tyson, pudgy, with a lisp and a high-pitched voice, was an easy target. He described his home life as anything but safe. His mother was frequently absent. He watched men abuse her. He recalled her boyfriend knocking out her gold tooth and her retaliating by pouring boiling water on him. Tyson later tied those scenes to the root of his emotional and sexual dysfunction. He said he grew up not feeling safe at home. His mother, as he put it, was very promiscuous. His father was a pimp and gangster. At school, he was a dropout in everything but name, skipping class to avoid the humiliation that waited in the hallways. He has said he never felt his mother was proud of him, that she only ever knew him as a wild kid running the streets. The streets, though, were where his story took its first sharp turn. Tyson kept pigeons on the rooftop. He built coops, raced them, raised them. They were the one thing in his world that required no violence, no armor, no toughness. Then one day, an older teenager grabbed his favorite bird.
I'm a pigeon guy. I always fly birds, pigeons. Yeah. So, my first fight, this guy took one of my pigeons, and so I said,
back. I never fought nobody before. I fought back, and you know what? I can fight real good. Something harder. That single exchange, a dead pigeon, a first punch, a crowd of witnesses, became the origin point of the most feared heavyweight in boxing history. Neighborhood kids started bringing opponents from other blocks to fight him for money.
I never fought nobody before. I fought back, and you know what? I can fight.
But there was something far darker buried in that same period. Something Tyson kept silent for decades. At 7 years old, walking the alleys of Brooklyn alone, Tyson was grabbed off the street by an unknown older man, dragged into a building, and molested. He escaped by running. He never told anyone. He buried it for 40 years. When he finally disclosed it publicly in 2014, and again in an ESPN interview with Jeremy Shopp, he was reluctant and direct in equal measure. He said it made him have to be tough for the world he lived in. By the time he was 13, Mike Tyson had been arrested 38 times. Petty theft, fighting, truancy. He cycled through the Spofford Juvenile Center in the Bronx multiple times. He watched Muhammad Ali visit the kids there once and saw the staff, the same people who ran the facility with fear, break down crying in Ali's presence. The idea that power, real power, could make the most frightening people in a room go quiet lodged itself in Tyson's mind permanently. Eventually, he was transferred to Tryon School for Boys in Johnstown, New York. There, a boxing coach named Bobby Stewart, a former Golden Gloves champion, spotted something uncontainable in him and drove Tyson to meet Cos D'Amato, the legendary trainer of Floyd Patterson and Jose Torres. D'Amato watched Tyson spar 3 rounds. He told Stewart, "Bobby, barring outside distractions, that is the heavyweight champion of the world and possibly the universe." Tyson cried. He was 12 years old. He had been arrested 38 times, molested at 7, abandoned by his father at birth, raised in a war zone, and now an old boxing man in the Catskills was looking at him and seeing a champion. Tyson later said that without D'Amato, he would have been dead or locked up forever. After his mother Lorna died of cancer in 1982, when Tyson was 16, D'Amato became his legal guardian. Tyson moved upstate full-time. He dropped out of high school. He trained every day. What followed was one of the most compressed ascents in sports history. On November 22, 1986, at just 20 years and 4 months old, Mike Tyson knocked out WBC champion Trevor Berbick in round 2, becoming the youngest heavyweight champion in history. By August 1987, he held the WBC, WBA, and IBF belts simultaneously. He was undisputed. He was 21 years old. The kid from Brownsville, who had nothing, had become the most feared man on the planet. But D'Amato had died in November 1985, just before Tyson's first title shot. And with him went the one person who had ever truly managed the monster he helped build. What came next was not a boxing story. Fame, chaos, and the fall. The version of Mike Tyson that the world fell in love with in the late 1980s was something genuinely terrifying in the most entertaining sense. He was 5 feet 10 inches and barely 220 pounds, fighting men who outweighed him by 40 pounds and knocking most of them out in under 3 rounds. Pay-per-view records collapsed. The money poured in.
That guy gave them a drug, and that drug was excitement. Like you turn on the TV.
Tyson himself, looking back during a conversation with Joe Rogan, was far less celebratory about who that man had been.
Long time ago, I'm saying this, that I would never talk to anybody like that.
The man the world cheered for was a man Tyson didn't like very much.
People love that guy.
Yeah.
You know, people love that. I didn't like that guy that much. So I have conflicting with people that like that guy and me living my...
At some of those press conferences, looking back, I would never talk to anybody like that. The man the world cheered for was a man Tyson didn't like very much. People love that guy. The cracks started showing almost right after the titles came in February 1988. At 21 years old and undisputed champion, Tyson married actress Robin Givens after an 11-month courtship. The marriage fell apart within a year. In September 1988, Givens sat next to Tyson on ABC's * 2020 * with Barbara Walters and, with Tyson silent beside her, described the marriage as torture and pure hell, saying she had grown afraid of him. Tyson initially denied the extent of the abuse. He later admitted in Undisputed Truth and in a 2009 Oprah appearance that he had hit her.
Human being, I've abused women, women abused me. It was like a twin blade. We both abused each other, you know? And that's just...
The cracks started showing almost right after the titles came in February 1988. At 21 years old and undisputed champion, Tyson married actress Robin Givens after an 11-month courtship. The marriage fell apart within a year. In September 1988, Givens sat next to Tyson on ABC's * 2020 * with Barbara Walters and, with Tyson silent beside her, described the marriage as torture and pure hell, saying she had grown afraid of him. Tyson initially denied the extent of the abuse. He later admitted in Undisputed Truth and in a 2009 Oprah appearance that he had hit her. The marriage ended in 1989. The legal and financial fallout dragged on for years. Then came Indianapolis. On July 19, 1991, Tyson met 18-year-old Desiree Washington, a Miss Black America pageant contestant, at a rehearsal event. He invited her to his hotel suite at around 2 a.m. She alleged he raped her. He insisted it was consensual. She reported it to police hours later. On February 10, 1992, he was convicted of rape and criminal deviant conduct. He received a 10-year sentence with 6 to serve, ultimately spending 3 years at the Indiana Youth Center before his 1995 release on parole. He was 25 years old. He had been undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and now he was in a prison cell. He converted to Islam. He read, he reflected. He emerged in 1995 with his jaw set and his career in ruins, and immediately began rebuilding, fighting again by 1996. But there was a rage inside him now that had nowhere clean to go. It found its most surreal outlet on June 28, 1997, at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. The WBA heavyweight rematch between Tyson and Evander Holyfield, who had stopped Tyson with a TKO in their first meeting in 1996, became one of the most infamous nights in boxing history. In round 3, after a series of headbutts and clinches, Tyson bit off a piece of Holyfield's right ear, spat it on the canvas, then bit his left ear. Referee Mills Lane disqualified him. The Nevada Athletic Commission revoked his license and fined him $3 million. The night dissolved into chaos. Tyson was ejected from the ring. A brawl broke out ringside. The most feared man in heavyweight boxing, the kid from Brownsville who had clawed his way to the very top of the world, had just gotten himself banned from the sport in one of the strangest minutes in sports history. Tyson blamed the headbutts. Holyfield denied intentional fouling. What wasn't in dispute was the image of Iron Mike crouching over an older, smaller opponent, biting him like an animal. The bite fight didn't destroy Tyson's career. He was reinstated in 1998, but it destroyed something else. It confirmed for many people the story they had already written about him, that beneath the trophies and the paychecks, there was something that couldn't be tamed. That's why I'm so feared. That's why they feared me when I was in the ring, because that's all my eye was, annihilation. That's all I was born for. He had been built from age 12 to be a weapon. The problem was that weapons don't know when to stop. And now those things are gone. It's empty. I'm nothing. The emptiness that followed his ring dominance, that vacuum left when the one identity he had ever truly owned was stripped away, was the thing Mike Tyson could never quite survive. Not in 1997, not in 2003, and not decades later at 59, with $400 million and a bankruptcy filing. By August 2003, Mike Tyson filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, listing more than $23 million in debt, despite having earned an estimated $400 million across his career from fights, endorsements, and appearances between 1985 and 2005. $400 million gone. The list of purchases read like a challenge to make it all disappear as fast as possible: multiple mansions, more than 50 luxury cars, Bentleys, Ferraris, gold bathtubs, private jets, a personal entourage that numbered in the dozens and cost a fortune just to maintain, and infamously 2 or 3 Bengal tigers, which cost tens of thousands of dollars per month in care alone. 2 divorces added their own financial weight. His 1989 separation from Robin Givens carried settlements and legal fees. His 2003 divorce from Monica Turner, his second wife, with whom he had 2 children, added more. Lawsuits piled on from all directions. And then there was Don King. In 1998, Tyson filed a $100 million lawsuit against his longtime promoter, alleging King had defrauded him, skimming from purses, hiding fees, and underpaying him across years of some of the most lucrative bouts in boxing history. The lawsuit was eventually settled. King denied any wrongdoing, but the money Tyson believed had been stolen was gone, regardless of what a settlement said. Taxes finished what the excess had started. In the abusive relationships interview transcripts, Tyson reflected with no glamour and no performance on what was left. Sit still.
No, I did some cocaine for a week. I had to get high. I had to get high.
The bankruptcy went beyond just money. It marked the moment that confirmed what had been quietly true for years, that the empire built on his punching power had no real foundation underneath. He had never developed financial know-how after growing up poor, had no loyal advisors he could truly trust, and had no system to safeguard what he'd earned. When Cos D'Amato passed away in 1985, Tyson didn't just lose a coach, he lost the only adult in his professional life who held genuine authority over him. What took the place of that structure was an entourage economy, people whose incomes relied on Tyson's spending, not saving. A road rage incident in 1999 led to a year in jail. An arrest in 2006 for DUI and cocaine possession. Another in 2007. Each one a sign of the old chaos breaking through the surface again. By his own admission, he was a full-blown addict. cocaine from as early as age 11, alcohol, marijuana. The substance abuse ran underneath all of it, fueling the excess, the violence, and the inability to stay still. He eventually took the CEO chair at Tyson Ranch and later Karma Holdco. He got clean from hard drugs around 2009, but the financial damage meant he was never fully out of the woods. The years of fighting past his prime, of agreeing to exhibition matches and comeback offers, were never purely about loving the sport. They were about making the numbers add up. Then came the death of Exodus. On May 24, 2009, in Phoenix, Arizona, 4-year-old Exodus Tyson, Mike's daughter with his then-partner Sol Sochil, was found unresponsive in the family home. She had been playing near a treadmill. The power cord, hanging in a loop from the console, had gotten wrapped around her neck. Her 7-year-old brother found her. Her mother performed CPR and called 911. Paramedics kept trying to revive her on the way to the hospital. Exodus was placed on life support but was pronounced dead on May 26 from strangulation and asphyxia. Police ruled it a tragic accident, no foul play, no charges. Tyson was in Los Angeles when it happened. He rushed to Phoenix. In footage from a later interview, he breaks down mid-conversation, asking for the microphone to be removed, barely holding himself together. The weight of what that day cost him is unmistakable. This is my best thinking at the time.